So, if you couldn't tell, it snowed a bit here in England last night. Now for us this is quite a lot, but obviously for some parts of the rest of the world it's nothing, it's like an average day. But in England, because we only get it maybe once a year, it causes a lot of problems. So at the moment all the school is shut, most of the shops are shut, or at least some of the shops are shut, most of the flights are cancelled, and generally it just causes a whole bunch of problems. But actually we had worse snow last year. We had that beast from the east, which, yeah, that was considerably worse. So this is actually not too bad this time, but it's still enough to cause major disruption, except for me, because I literally work in an office just there, so that's not really a problem. But I don't know, it was a good opportunity to go out and film, so I've got some footage. So I'm quite lucky in that my studio or my office is literally attached to the house. So if it snows or if there's flooding, I don't really have to worry about it, and it's quite nice. Although if I did have a shoot today, that would be a problem. I would have had to cancel that, but luckily I don't. I don't really have any shoots until next week, which is good. So I can spend the rest of the day doing some editing and also enjoying the snow, but it's going to melt in like a day or two anyway, so it's not really a problem. So I thought today I would show you some of the process of making music. Now we've got an actual full video coming out soon which explains specifically how we make wedding music and the role that I play and the role that Neil plays in mixing it. But I thought today I'd just show you a little something I'm working on, and this is kind of an average day for me, is either doing some editing or doing some music work, and I'm focusing on music at the moment because we haven't really got clients starting it until next week, so I thought I'd work on a bit of music, which is actually, this is a wedding track. But I'm not really going to go into detail too much in this video. I just thought I'd show you a little bit of my kind of setup and, you know, kind of how I go about things basically. I have this M Audio USB keyboard that goes directly into the computer, and then we are running Cubase Elements. I don't have the full version, I will be upgrading to it soon. But Cubase Elements does everything I need. I did have Cubase AI, but that was a bit basic. This is a bit better. We have, Neil actually has templates that we kind of work off, because if I do things myself, it's not the way that he likes it, so when he comes to mixing it he has to change everything. So we're all working to his templates now because he's the one who kind of does the final mixing, so what he says goes on that one. Neil actually wrote this little bit of the track here, which I'll just play now. In our sort of Dropbox folder that we've got for the business, there's tons and tons of project files that have been started by Neil and Dave and a few by myself, and sometimes I'll just go through and listen to it, and if it's a project in development I'll just go to Neil, oh hey, I've seen this this song that you started on and I think I can work something with it, I've got an idea for it, do you mind if I do it? Normally he's like, yeah sure, just copy over the project file and make your own version, because the last thing you want to do is edit someone else's project file and lose all their work. So I took over the basic MIDI data and then created my own arrangement. I'm layering things up. So this is not what the arrangement's going to be. I've got two sort of chord sequence sections, and then I'm just working with the keys at the moment and doing MIDI input. I'll do all the recording stuff later, and again when we have the full video coming out that explains how we do the music, I'll explain the full process of that and miking everything up. But for now I'm just working with MIDI and it's just a lot easier to compose, and I didn't flip the screen properly. There we go, haha, now I can see myself. So if I just play through a little bit, I can just play through this section. So on here you can obviously see if I solo a few of the bits. So this is what the track's built on. And then I've gone in and added some bass notes just to kind of... And then I've also added some piano sort of lead bits as well. And then as it gradually builds up, I'm also adding strings. Now, with strings, MIDI strings specifically, it's really, really difficult to get good sounding strings. You kind of need to know the limitation. A lot of them sound like the sort of 80s and 90s, you know, the Casio keyboards and the sort of synth strings, and they just don't really sound realistic. Now they're obviously a lot better. We're using Garrison Personal, which is all right. It's, you know, it's pretty good. I'd recommend it as sort of an entry level. I used to use Logic Pro when I was doing music tech production at college, but obviously that's really expensive. And I think we're going to work towards some better plugins. But for the time being, there are some really good effects in this. If I just play you this one, this is just the cello, and what I've found is the cello works quite well in a lower register, and if you add some modulation, sorry, let's check on the keyboard. If you add some modulation, it starts to sound more authentic. And I just have that in the background, kind of doing counter melodies and stuff. And then I'm just building it up, and then this is what the sort of the full-fledged sound sounds like, although I need to add a bit more. And I've added a little bit of background synth as well. But you can have a little listen, albeit it is through my speakers, so I am very sorry. That's just a quick... Oh, sorry, the sustain's still going. That's just a quick little look at the sort of stuff that I've been doing writing music. As I said, main video will be coming out soon, hopefully. I'm looking at the screen. I need to look at the camera. So main video will be coming out soon, hopefully, and that will explain the full process of how we do things. But in the meantime, I hope that was interesting, and obviously the snow bits as well. I very much enjoy the snow. Lots of people don't like it, but I quite like it. Anyway, stay subscribed, and if you're new around here, subscribe, notifications on if you can, and there'll be more videos coming very, very soon. Goodbye.